back to that, because already we have repeated many things like what is the concept, what is the inclusive education. So the other day I stopped. I think challenges I think I have taken. Advantages I have told. Then components of successful inclusion. Okay, this I'll take it on Monday, because this is on separate topic which I can take it today. Again, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I'll be taking class. Okay. So now how come today hardly 23 students have turned up? Is it second Saturday for that purpose? Or morning, what was the strength in the morning? I did not check the attendance. What was the morning attendance?
It's around 38,
ma'am.
30 to 36, ma'am.
Why students are not coming in the afternoon session? Today, did you have this 12 o'clock class? School management?
No, ma'am.
Why? From 12?
So it has taken till quarter to 12, ma'am. That's why we don't have. From Monday onwards, we have Swati ma'am's class.
Not Swati, Shravanti ma'am. Swati ma'am, as usual, we will be having weekly thrice, that's all. Me and Swati will be taking only 3 days. Shravanti will be taking throughout the week, even Sir will be taking throughout the week. Okay. Now, coming to the topic, barriers to inclusive education. So, what are the barriers? Barriers are nothing but the hurdles, hindrances, obstacles. Okay. The problems, generally what all the problems or what are the hurdles, what are the hindrances, what are the obstacles we generally have for inclusive education. So here, according to this, in general, they have segregated into 3 types. One is the attitudinal barrier, the other one is the physical barrier, the third one is the instructional barrier. Okay, we have long barriers, we have long list of the barriers, but in general, when they have come to the precise one, okay, so overall it has been divided into only 3 groups. One is the attitudinal, the second one is the physical, and the third one is the instructional. So what is an attitudinal barrier? So already I have told you, see, to run an institution, inclusive institution is not that easy. So even then, even all the facilities and all the scope, policies and everything, even if we implement, but still you could see that there are few hurdles. And generally, what are the hurdles that will be that actually come towards this inclusive education? It has, even though we have long list of barriers, but it has been divided into major 3. That is attitudinal, physical, and the instructional barrier. Okay. See, what happens is that the greatest barrier when it comes to the inclusive education is the negative and the unfavorable attitude of the teachers, parents, students, society, and the marginalized groups. Okay. Generally, what happens when people have a different attitude? When I say that attitude of a person towards other person will have a great impact. In case if I have a negative attitude towards a particular person, whatever the person tries to impress me, whatever the person tries to do good, that negative attitude will not be bring any change in my thinking. Attitude is nothing but the behavior, the perception towards the disabled children. So generally what happens, the teachers have a negative and unfavorable. I said na, even though after doing so many policies, schemes and everything, the major role for a successful inclusive education is the attitude of the teachers, attitude of the management, attitude of the parents, attitude of the peer group, and also the attitude of the society towards the disabled children. See, in case if they have a very positive attitude, if they have belief in this, if they believe that even disabled can be successful, disabled can be independent in their life, then definitely the inclusive education will be successful. just by giving them education, but just by giving all the facilities, will not make the disabled children independent in their life. We should have a very positive attitude. We should be very optimistic. Okay, the feeling towards them should be very positive. So generally what happens for a successful inclusive education, there should be positive attitude from the parents, teachers, society, peer group. Okay, but generally what happens, the attitude towards disabled children is negative. And who is playing a major role in this? The first and foremost thing, the teachers, the parents, the society, and the peer group. Their unfavorable and the negative attitude is a big barrier in inclusive education. Okay, what happens here? Generally what happens, negative attitudes, discrimination, and can lead to a serious, then I said in a classroom, in case if I don't focus on the disabled children, if I if I go give only importance to the normal children, then that discrimination itself will have a negative impact on the disabled children. So such attitude as a teacher should not be there. As a teacher, I should have very positive attitude. Whatever the teaching, whatever the techniques I am using, I have to consider in my mind, and even I have to look into the needs of the disabled children. But in case if I don't look at them, if I don't give importance to them, this negative attitude will have a negative impact on the child. Okay, so it will not be a successful inclusive education. See, many times I have told right from the day one I have been telling that just giving all the facilities, just making them to sit along with the normal children will not give you the required outcomes. There should be a proper support from the parents, teachers, peer group, and the society. So one of the obstacle, one of the hurdle is the attitudinal barrier. Okay. See what happens. Negative attitude also can take a social discrimination, lack of awareness, and traditional. Regarding disabled children, some regions still maintain they have a belief that education to disabled children is of no use. Okay, generally what happens? Often for a non-successful inclusive education, the major part, the who is supposed to be blamed, the parents, the teachers, the attitude of the society, and the attitude of the peer group, but not the shortcomings in the education system. What do you mean by shortcomings? Any one of you? What do you mean by shortcomings?
Please frame.
Pardon, what happened, Sanghamitra? Is it not audible?
Ma'am, could you please frame that in a sentence, ma'am? Because I have not heard it before.
See, I said in case for a successful inclusive education, everyone has to play equal important role. See, everyone, teachers, parents, then society, management, everything. Okay, everyone. Okay, but I said that in case if because of the attitudinal behavior, okay, attitudinal barrier of the parents, teachers, peer group, and the society, the inclusive education is not being considered as a successful one, rather than the shortcomings in the education system. Because the discrimination shown towards the disabled children and the normal children is such that the attitudinal behavior of the parents, of the teachers, of the society, of the peer group, okay, is in such a way that even after giving all the opportunities and the facilities, we are not getting the required desired outcomes. Not because of the shortcomings in the education system. Shortcomings is nothing but the loopholes loopholes are nothing but the drawbacks in the education system. There are few drawbacks in the education system, but here the drawbacks in the education system is not considered as the obstacle in the inclusive education, whereas the attitude of the parents, teachers, society and the peer group is considered as an obstacle. Attitude there towards the disabled children is considered as a barrier rather than the drawbacks in the education system. Shortcomings and what do you mean by shortcomings? What do you expect in case if it is not 100%, that in case if it is only 90%, that 10% what you are whatever it is the gap is there, that is called as a shortcoming. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Shortcomings means 100%. Whatever you expect is 100%. Now here what happens? Attitude. Already I have told you, attitude is nothing but the perception, the way you think, the way you behave. Okay. So we have long list of barriers, but one of the major one is the attitudinal behavior, and whose attitudinal behavior is a hurdle to the inclusive education? The parents, teachers, society and the peer group. And let me tell you, in India, there are certain regions, still they feel that education to disabled children is of no use. Such attitude, definitely what happens? The discrimination in the society, the social awareness they will not have. Most of the disabled children will not come to know what the society is, because actually the society is discriminating them. They are not treating them as one. So this attitude of the society, parents, teachers and the peer group has major impact for an unsuccessful inclusive education rather than the few drawbacks in the education system. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Today Sirisha is absent. Morning, was she present? And who is this Mokshit?
Yes.
Ma'am,
She's
Sirisha
present, ma'am.
having exams, ma'am. Ma'am, Manzula, ma'am.
Manjulana. Okay. Bhagyashree has come. Bhavani. Okay. Okay. Now, did you understand what is attitude? Okay. Now.
quite unable to understand answer సెండ్ చేసా అని అనిపిస్తుంది. ఓకే excitement thing. Okay, that's okay.